Hello, hello, everyone. How are you doing today? Wow. Can you believe it's been a week already? I tell you, the time just literally goes so fast that you just don't know what to do. I mean, the weeks, the days. I was 2 weeks ago, a week ago. I was at at one of a group meeting and with some friends, and they said it's only 79 days. Can you believe that? 79 days until Christmas come. We were talking about what's our favorite time of the year. What is our favorite time of the year? So if you are on, just put a little chat. And hi, how are you? Hope you're having a great day. Put a little chat in. Let me know who you are, where you are from. Would love to hear from you. But can you believe? So that was just about 10 days ago or so, a week ago. Can you believe that we are winding down to we're getting like to 60 days from the holiday, which means we're only about like 60 days or so from the new year. What? I mean, so much is just, I mean, 2021 has just flown by faster than 2020 has ever done at all. So I'm glad it's moving, but then I'm glad every year. I think we get to this time of the year, and we're always glad that the year is just kind of like taking off and just kind of going by where it does. Well, anyway, we're going to go ahead and get started. In case you don't know who I am, and it's your first time here, my name is Dawn Marie Alexander Borsico, your Uncommon Voice coach, life coaching and consulting, where we really work on developing leaders, increasing performance, and aligning values. We want to make sure that who you are is aligning with the values that you say that you believe in, and that really, how do we increase performance and building leadership? Well, let's go ahead and jump in. Today is going to be, I always try to do a little recap of what we did the day before, or the week before, because we come on every week and do this. But last week, last couple of weeks, we've talked about fourth quarter living. How do we move forward? How do we really make this last quarter of the year successful? How do we set this up to be successful, to really nail in, hammer in, and say, you know what? I am going to accomplish my goals. I am going to accomplish what I desire to accomplish. That was number one. Number two, how do I then set up my fourth quarter so that I go into the first quarter of 2022? Yes, I said it, 2022 with a bang, lining it out. And we talked about a number of things. What are those things that are important to you? And then we went into talking about really cleansing our soul. What is the soul? The mind, the will, and the emotions. Moving forward, cleansing that. And we're working on our 40 days of alignment. I haven't finished putting it together yet, but stay tuned to this channel. It's also posted on YouTube. But stay tuned to this page, join the group so that when it's up, you'll be ready to jump in and learn, because we're going to do 40 days of alignment. We're going to spend the next 40 days when I finish putting it together, which is coming soon. We're going to spend those 40 days on working towards aligning. But today we're going to kick off talking about leadership. Leadership. What is it? What does it mean? What is leadership? What is being a leader? I'm going to focus in on today. We're talking about leader versus influencer. Leader versus influencer. What does that mean? What does it mean to be a leader? What does it mean to be an influencer? So just on the beginning, what we're talking about today is, let's talk about leader. What is a leader? A leader goes before. A leader goes before something. It's leading in. And when you begin to understand leader versus the leader is a lead that you put on the end of a fishing line. Why? Because it's going in first. What do we normally think of when we think of leader? What do we think of when we think of leader? We usually think of someone that's taking charge, that's running the show, that has certain qualities. What are the qualities of a leader? What are the qualities that you think a leader should have? Because nowadays we think a leader should be this and a leader should be that. Everybody has their own idea of what a leader should be, how a leader comes about, how a leader is made. I mean, the list is goes far and beyond. Well, I think a leader should have integrity. I don't care if they have integrity. They should just be able to do this. But then what areas of integrity do we care about? What is a leader? What do you care about for that person going before? And that is the question. Because depending on the environment that which you are in, that leader is going to have qualities for that environment. For example, how many of you work in a job or you're on a task and the person leading you has no experience whatsoever? I mean, they're like, never done it. I know how to lead. I know how to. And sometimes we look at those people and go, you can't tell me anything. We have little respect for them. Yeah, you're a leader. You sign my check. You get to write me up. But as far as being a leader, for me, I don't really see you as a leader because you can't do my job. Have any of you ever experienced anyone like that? Have you ever? We see it sometimes in the military. People are leaders and we're like, how did you get there? They checked the box. They did everything. A slot was open. But should they really be a leader? In a previous, when I was working for the phone company many years ago, a lot of those managers that came in that were not raised up from the inside, they had no clue how to do our job. But yet they wanted to tell us how to do the job. Were they really a leader? And then we learn that leaders are either nurtured or they're natured. Which one? What determines how a leader comes about? What determines when someone is a leader and when they are not? What matters to you? Hello, thank you for joining us. Go ahead and type your name in so that we could definitely see where you're joining in from. But what determines that? You know, I'm going to jump in and say this. I want to make sure that I say this before we go bye-bye today. Every single person has the ability to be a leader in the environment in which they are living. I'm going to say that again. Every person has the ability to be a leader within the environment that they are in. Because it's about leading first. It's because, why do I say that? It's because how I define leadership, how we define it by certain situations. And there are certain terms that we learn about a leader. They are the great man. They come out just, I'm a leader. They just come out running the show. And we know those people. But then there are also leaders that are willing to go before. They're willing to take the responsibility. They're willing to go first before others and take the hits. Hey, Alan, how are you doing? I'm so glad that you're here. Definite example of a leader, willing to go forward. And now more than any, ladies and gentlemen, we need leaders. We need leaders to step up. We need leaders to use their voice. We need leaders. We don't need followers. What do leaders do? Leaders get educated. Leaders don't just go by what they're told. They don't just follow they don't follow what they're told. They go and get information for themselves and they begin to read and understand. But they are followers. They're not followers. They begin to go in and get understanding. And so then we have those who are made. Some leaders rise up in times of times of crisis. Times of crisis birth leaders. So we have nature and we have nurtured leaders. Sometimes it's like, I don't want to be a leader, but there's nobody else. So somebody has to do it. Somebody has to step up. We see those people sometimes on the news, right? On the news. Why? Because they jump up and they're like, well, I'm not a hero. That's not who I am. If you're not a leader, I get that. If you're not one, just keep it moving. But you know what? Sometimes you may be a leader, but you may not be an influencer. Sometimes you might take a lead, but you're not influencing anybody. You might be stepping out there and doing it. So I'm glad you brought that up. So what is the difference between a leader and an influencer? Sometimes you could be an influencer and nobody, and like you say, nobody's following. Why? Because the influence that you may have. We see a lot of people right now that are influencers, but we would never consider them to be a leader because they aren't taking the hits. They're not willing to go before. They're willing to do a lot of this, but they're not willing to go before and take the hit. A leader is willing to take the hits. A leader is willing to step up when nobody else will step up. A leader is willing to put self on the line for the greater cause. And a leader can be nurtured, and a leader can be just coming out the womb as a natural born leader. And too often people don't know. Too often leaders are hidden. They don't want anybody to know but their voice, because their voice has been taken. So we have to know how to draw people out. We have to know how to encourage people. But people don't follow leaders because they're not walking in their. Exactly. Leaders are a purpose to influence. Exactly. Why? Because you're going to follow someone that's willing to go forward. You're not going to take hits for what you don't believe. You're not going to take hits for what you don't know. You're not going to take hits for what you're not willing to stand for. But I will say we all have the abilities to be a leader. We all have the abilities. It may not be let me say, a national leader. It may not be one that's very visible. But you have the ability to be a leader within your surroundings. You have the ability to be a leader within those that you've been assigned to develop. There are people in your life that are looking to you. There are people in your life that are looking to you on how you move, how you think, how you handle certain situations. Leaders are educated. And when I say educated, I'm not talking degree. I'm speaking of they're willing to get in and understand, well, why are people different? They're critical thinkers. They're critical thinkers. So we want to be more than influencers. Everybody wants to get on YouTube. Now I want to be an influencer. I want to be an influencer. I want you to know my name. But are they willing to be a leader? Are they willing to step out? Are they willing to take the hits? Are they willing to go through the persecution? Leaders are going to go through persecution. People want to follow people who are willing to take the hits for them. How many of you want to work for a boss or follow a pastor or follow anybody that is not willing to stand up for truth, stand up for what you know, stand up for what is right? Leaders. Because here's the thing, ladies and gentlemen, if we aren't willing, how do I want to say this? Leaders can be good and leaders can be bad. And leaders can take advantage of people that are not willing to do the work for themselves. Now, all of us may not go on the main stage. We're not all meant to go on the main stage. But there are others that are willing to go on the main stage. It's not that we aren't. We might be that leader that rallies the crowd, that rallies the people. And we're leaders in that respect, okay? Because we're not allowing our voices to be silent. But there are leaders that are going to go before. And the reason I say this is because we need critical thinkers. Critical thinkers. People who are willing to go, why? To ask the hard questions, to look through the minutia and find out what is there. So as we begin to close today, leadership versus influencers, what does it take to be a leader? That's what we're going to begin to discuss over the next few weeks. Leadership, becoming a leader. Do you want to be a leader? What area do you want to? Do you want to be a leader in your home, a leader in your community, a leader in your faith, whether it be your church or whatever you practice? A leader. It's important to know. It's important to know where you stand. It's important to, life is only a decision. Are you willing? Leaders make decisions and they have to stick by them. Are you willing to do that? Intentionality, exactly. You don't go into a fight. You don't go into a war zone. Leaders go into war zones. Will that war zone be in the office? I had a boss once, and we all loved that boss because that boss fought for us. No, it was the saying. This is what they said. If he said it, we're good. What did so and so say? He said that I could do it because we knew that he was going to fight for us. I've never seen grown men, grown like adult, like middle-aged grown men, cry because another grown man was leaving. That was the power of his leadership. The power of his leadership was so great that the entire team was crying, sending emails to the big boss going, what are you going to do? Are you going to break us up? Because we were a team. We literally wrapped that company just for our team. Why? Because of what one man did. Because they were a leader. They were willing to stand up and take the fight, take the hit for us. So what I want us to do, because I try not to be on here long on Tuesdays, follow me on YouTube, an Uncommon Voice Coaching and Consulting, or I should just say an Uncommon Voice. Follow me, subscribe in case you miss. If you find anything here that's been beneficial or encouraging to you, please let me know. Put it in a comment. Share this with your friends. Why? Because we want to grow leaders. We want to encourage people to be who they've been called to be. And then if they begin to influence others because of their leadership, because of their stand, then we're going to go there. And we're going to begin to talk about what are some qualities of a leader? What are qualities that you have that make you a good leader? And we're going to talk also about who's taking your voice. What has happened in your life where you no longer want to walk in who you've been called to be because you feel that your voice has been stolen? We're going to talk about how to get that voice back. How to get back your voice, walk in the person that you've been called to be, walk in your authenticity, if I guess if I said that right, so that you can walk out the person and plan that you desire to be for your life and who you were called to be. We are here today at an Uncommon Voice Coaching and Consulting to build leaders, to help people be the leader that they were destined to be from the foundation of the earth. We're going to help you go in, dig in, and drag it right on out. So I hope you all have a great and wonderful day. I'll see you next week. Again, this is Damarie Alexander Borsico, your Uncommon Voice Coach. Bye-bye.